Hello and welcome to We Love to Hate Everything. I'm Jody.
And I'm Amanda.
And we are back with another week of things we absolutely love to hate. And boy, two shows today, 90 Day Fiance and Seeking Sister Wife. Truly love to hate them.
Yeah,
Embraces the essence of the phrase.
Wow. That Seeking Sister Wife, I feel like a lot of, even Cody Brown, when he gets, really pissy, all through season 16, and it gets kind of dark, with the Isabel stuff.
Yeah.
I still feel like it was enjoyable to watch. That hot tub scene might have been, I really just felt like it wasn't a fun hate watch. Yeah, no, it was...
Truly.
So upsetting. So upsetting. And, that poor girl, Danielle. She's going to look back on this when she's, in her 30s and just go, oh, my God.
PTSD.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be funny, truly.
We've all done really stupid stuff in our lives, except for Jody, I'm sure. But she...
Hey, come on now. I went skinny dipping once.
Oh.
Well, I still had my bra and underwear on, but...
So you were basically in a bathing suit.
Well, I mean... it was like an 18-hour ugly big girl bra, too.
So you were fully clothed, basically.
Yeah. Well, and I had a shirt over that, but you could see through the shirt. No, I didn't have a shirt.
You had one of the shirts with the outline of the girl in a bikini.
The bikini body.
Yeah. But okay, we've all done really stupid stuff, but this is on national television. Close up of her ass.
It's stupid for her to be there, but I don't think she could have anticipated that, and they're just preying on her. I mean, we could just jump into Sister Wives right now if you want.
Yeah, well, I do. I want to talk about my crab cakes update.
Yeah, this is big.
You were so mad. You were like, "You've been crabbing this whole time, and I didn't know about it."
You've been knee deep in crabs, and you didn't tell me.
And then
well, hold on. Fill everyone in. Fill everyone in first.
First of all, I have not been talking. Okay, crab cakes.
It's a nickname for a guy that you were kind of seeing back in New York.
And this was probably anyone out there who does online dating, this guy was a unicorn. He had a job. It was working with animals. We liked all the
only
TV
record
shows.
He had was a parking citation.
Yeah, Jody
back in Arizona from 2000, maybe 16, 14.
Yeah, he named his dog a name from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, first and last name, because I always name my animals first and last. Yep. He watched when we had to do Rock of Love, that one episode for TRP. I watched it with him, and he's like, "Well, we just have to keep going now."
And most importantly, let's not forget this. You watched the January 6th insurrection with him.
That was our first date. That was crab cakes night.
Although I remember this more than you do.
Yeah, it was on TV at the restaurant. When we were so something's going on in Washington today.
Right? It'll be fine. It'll totally be fine. This is gonna blow over. No big deal.
Well, I call them crab cakes because me and Jody, before the date, we looked at the menu and we figured out what I was gonna get, and then I went rogue because they had these crab cakes. You
absolutely went rogue, yeah.
Right, and I wasn't sure how the date was going. I knew I liked him, but anyway, I ended up getting the crab cakes. And then, by the end of the date, right as we were walking out the door, I think he touched my back or something, and I was like, oh shit, we're definitely gonna do something tonight. And then he's like, we'll just come back to my house. And then I got in the car and I called Jody and I was like, Jody, I have horrible diarrhea right now. I can feel it coming on, and now I'm going to this guy's house. And it was it's too late.
My entire family was in on this. We were Googling locations that might have a bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a CVS nearby. Quick,
he
get
lived
there.
2 blocks away, so there was nothing I could possibly do. Right. Anyway, it reabsorbed back in. Don't worry, guys. Anyway, but I moved back to Canada. He moved to Arizona for a bit, and now he lives back in his hometown. But he messaged me the other day. We message every so often, just Merry Christmas or whatever. And he's coming to Calgary, Amanda.
This is big.
It's big. He's coming
Yeah.
for like a week, and like he gets to like his work's putting him
Staying with you.
up. I don't know if he's staying with me, but he well, I guess he would be. He gets a hotel, like a 5-star hotel for 2 nights. So I guess we'll stay there, like downtown.
Oh.
I'm gonna take him to Banff. He wants to see Banff, and I think it'll just be super fun.
Okay, I'm a little jealous about the BAM thing, and I told you, most of all, he's probably going to get to meet your mom, Daphne.
No, my mom is
before
so
me.
excited.
God, she wasn't that excited to talk to me.
Oh my God, shut up. I think my mom's my mom's the kind of person that thinks that like, in order to be happy, you have to be like in a relationship. So I think that she's just like, oh, thank God she's not gonna die a spinster. I'm like, chill out, it's 1 week. But
Well, do you know what will make me happy? The way that Daphne can make it up to me? Give me that
lemon
elusive lemon meringue pie recipe that
she did crochet you an
teases me
entire blanket.
And it's right here, Amanda. And when it
I
gets
know, I
cold,
can
I'm going
see
to wrap
it.
myself in it. It's always close to me.
When you're so cold.
She likes to just keep me dangling by a thread with that lemon meringue. She gives me just enough, just the tip of that sheriff pie
do you know
crust.
that I asked her to write up the recipe by hand?
not
and
gonna do it.
I was gonna put it on top of the blanket, and then she just didn't.
This is her way to control me.
I think it is.
I know this like deep to my core.
She's like manipulative, like Marcus Epps.
She didn't
They're
like
about on the
that.
same level.
I diagnosed you with that sciatica that one time, and she was like,
She
"Oh,
was
Jody
not.
doesn't know everything," and then it was sciatica. There's a tension there that lies between. It's kind of
She
like
also
which
doesn't-
mommy do you love the most?
She also doesn't love that you think that you can just put bleach on anything.
You never cleared this up with her. You have her
That's
thinking
fine.
I just spray bleach all around my house on everything.
Do you know that we got a whole like email at work yesterday about who's using all the Pine Sol? You're not supposed to, she's like, we bought that jug like 3 years ago, and now there's only like a tablespoon left. And me and Karen, my work friend, like we always talk about like whenever I use Pine Sol, I think of you, like each other.
Oh God.
And we both.
There's a
we were
nanny
like-
cam watching you guys tap that Pine Sol.
Like, it was funny, and my boss was like, no, this is good, it means that you guys are cleaning. She's like, I just didn't realize anyone was using that. And everyone's like, yeah, I never use that because I hate the smell. And then me and Karen in the group chat were like, I guess not everyone's
You're
getting
spraying
off
your
on the
armpits
Pine
on a
Sol.
hot day. You're like, a little refresh.
People are like, yeah, I'm always smelling it now. But I'm like, well, sorry.
Yeah, I think I got the
God.
concentration wrong from the recipe you gave me.
I didn't give you a recipe. I just said
Well, it's
Pine
just Pine
Sol.
Sol
Smells
and
good.
in water though, but you have
Yeah.
to dilute it.
Yeah,
I think I add
know.
too much because it can be very noxious.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the update
Anyhow,
on crab cakes and Pine Sol.
yeah.
the
Well, this
trees.
is exciting. So it's going to be sometime in August.
Yeah, or it might not
Right?
work out, and that actually might be better because I'm already kind of dreading it.
No,
Well,
it's gonna be fun.
I guess
Even just to show someone around your hometown. You
that
know?
is true.
Show someone around Canada.
And he loves like cowboy culture, so
Oh no! Okay,
I'm like,
I had
you're
him
never
on.
gonna want to leave.
I had him on a pedestal, as high as a horse, if you will, and now cowboy culture. Oh,
Well, he's from like a cowboy town. So
if
I'm
he
like,
wears
you
a
can fucking live it here.
if you two put on a cowboy shirt like Temple Grandin and a little bolo tie
Listen, I'm
and
gonna have
take
us
a
wear
photo
matching
together.
outfits like Jibri and Miona.
with bolo ties, yikes! I mean, I'm definitely gonna frame it and put it on my bedside table. But wow, like there she is. There's my little girl, all grown up
happening.
in her bolo tie. Wow.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's get into these episodes here.
Yeah,
we gotta
let's
record
get into it.
Sopranos later with my ex-husband.
You get a full day. We got your ex-husband. We got crab cakes. One of
Yeah.
these days, we need to get your ex. Am I allowed to
Mole?
say his nickname? No, not Mole.
Big
Big
Dick
Dick Chris.
Oh yeah, I mean he would. I feel like he would just like really like steamroll the whole episode, and it would
I'm
just
fine
turn
with
into like
that.
some. Yeah, it might be funny.
I'm up for that.
All right, let's do it. You want to do?
Let's
do
jump
Seeking.
into this. Oh, okay. All right, we'll jump into Seeking Sister Wife here. I'm very excited about that Sopranos episode, by the way. Series finale month. Oh, like 6 weeks on Total Request Podcast.
I
Check it
sent
out.
you
We
that-
got some
I
great
sent-
ones.
Yeah, we do. I sent you that screenshot of the text between me and Brad, and he was like, "So is Jody just not gonna watch the whole series, but she's watching the finale.
Listen, I was sad to find out that Slow Bobby died. That was a little
Spoiler,
heartbreaking.
Jody, for a 20-year-old show.
It was a spoiler for me.
Did you watch that scene?
No.
Oh, you should watch it.
I don't need to see Slow Bobby die.
It was shocking. It was shocking.
Oh,
because he'd never killed anyone ever.
Because he's slow and he's nice. What's his actual name?
Bobby Bacala.
Oh, okay. I thought he had a nickname.
No, you just call him Slow Bobby.
No, it was like sugar tits or something.
I don't think so. I think Tony just always called him fat. But he had never killed anyone.
Well, see, in my family, when like I would get called fat, it was the same thing as like sweetie, sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, he hadn't killed anyone, so Tony's like, you have to do this hit. You have to. So then Bobby died. Oh, actually, I don't even think that's why he got killed. They get in a fight with this rival gang, mafia, and they just like take out pretty much the whole family, and Bobby's like, you're gonna make fun of this because it seems slowish, but he loves like model trains, so he goes to this model train place, and he's like yeah, I'm gonna buy this, so you wrap it up, and then like he gets killed, and he like falls on this like whole like display of like this huge train set.
Oh my god!
And it's intense.
Train set.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of sad because that's a biohazard. Then they gotta throw that away.
It's true. Someone worked hard to make that train set. Okay,
you
sorry.
Can't clean all those little teeny tiny pieces. All right, Seeking Sister Wife, Season 4, Episode 7. Roses are red, not on the bed! ! Included in the title.
Good Lord. Well, we didn't have to sit through what's his face today.
Steve.
Yeah.
And Brenda.
Most perfect name for a face I've ever seen.
Brenda. No baby Brendas lately. I think that name died maybe in like the 80s. Do you think names like that are ever going to come back? Not to get too off the rails, but
when I worked at Jibri and we like would write out names, like there would be a couple ones that would come in and I'd be like, huh.
There's like Irene, Greta. I've seen an Estelle.
What
Stella,
if there was like
Nora.
a baby Blanche?
Oh, that could be kind of cute.
Like that would be.
But
I think it might be cute now because it's retro.
Or like Debbie is like a very 80s name, or like a Brenda. Not a whole lot of Jennifers.
I guarantee you, there's not going to be a lot of Karens anymore.
No. All right. Well, speaking of Karen, there's a Taryn in the Epps family. Let's start with Marcus. With little bitty baby Marcus. He's so little.
Baby.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm very bored with them. I don't really get into the Epps.
And the energy is just so like low. And I don't know if it's just like the cadence at which they all speak, but it's just a very like kind of monotone. And then Taryn doesn't really talk. She kind of just lets India
Marcus take the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
Marcus
she
and
agrees
India.
with it all.
So what this comes down to is that Bina has just like exited the picture.
Braces.
She was just a braces Bina. That's right. Braces is left. She got her braces off. She realized she could do better. She's gone. Bye. And now we have Janae. Marcus reached out to Janae because he met her when she was a bartender and they just hit it off. But, then he got married and then separated and got a girlfriend and then got back together with his wife. But they've been talking and she's going to fly out from Atlanta. And Janae is not just your average woman. She's ambitious and she's goal-oriented. I mean, not a lot of women are,
Yeah,
like, most of us just like to be like barefoot, pregnant at home. Yeah. We wait for our husbands to tell us what to do.
A classic Robin Brown.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, goals are so,
It's such a man thing. Such a man quality.
I just want my man to think for me.
Yeah.
It's like Nick. Huge turn on. Yeah. So India is now uncomfortable. She's still uncomfortable with the fact that Marcus dated Braces. And she especially didn't like that he knew Braces before he knew her, because they had more of a history than they did together. And here is this really cool thing that I'm going to say like a good amount of guys do based on what you've told me about dating this day and age, right? That guys will like not tell you that they are actually currently in a relationship.
Yeah, I've
Because then you
experienced
wouldn't
that.
go. Yeah, so Marcus is going to fly Janae out from, I want to say Atlanta or
It
something.
was Atlanta. But also he has known her longer than India as well.
Yeah.
Because he met her before, like between the two.
Yeah, but it's different this time because Janae doesn't know that Marcus
That
is
is fun.
married and has a fiance. Not in one relationship, but two relationships. Because then he said, I thought if I told her, she just wouldn't come. But if I
Right.
told her face to face, she might be willing to continue dating me. So if like he sabotages her or ambushes her, I should say, a much higher likelihood that she'll let him just slip it in. You know? Like as long as I'm here, go ahead.
It's the classic excuse of, well, I didn't tell you because I knew you'd get mad.
Right. And I told
Yeah.
you, so you can't be mad at me. I'm telling you
Right.
now.
He's gonna woo her with his
With his cooking skills.
yeah. I just
Hopefully he brings
He's
his
such a
cool
giver.
apron that he wore before.
Forgot about that apron.
What was it like? Wait till you taste my meat. Oh no, it's something about swallowing.
Yeah, it was some
Ugh.
pun on dicks and meat.
She's getting extra special treatment because Bina, I still don't know what they're calling her. She just got like a tent in the park date with a little charcuterie bowl, but what's her name? Janae is getting an Airbnb so that Marcus can cook a meal for her and he might lay out like some rose petals on the bed. Yeah,
And he was like
let
on the
that one
bed.
slip.
Oh yeah, he did not mean. He's still gonna do it, but
Oh,
he didn't mean to tell
100%.
them that. Also, I love how he gives the impression to his wives that they have any sense of control by allowing them to give him a curfew.
Right.
3 a.m. is not a curfew. 3 a.m.
Oh, I can't.
When was the last time you were awake at 3 a.m.? I mean, I'm usually awake at 3 a.m., but I've already slept a few hours before.
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm waking up like, oh God, I got to get up in 2 hours, go back to sleep. And then I'm digging into some ex-boyfriend of yours and I'm finding his rap sheet and I'm sending it to you and taking screenshots. I'm doing a full FBI investigation.
Well, if this date starts at 8, if I were one of the women, I'd be like, well, your curfew is midnight, I guess. But we're going to be up
very
talking
reasonable.
all night. I don't want to spend that much time with anyone.
No, she just flew
talking.
in. She wants to be in bed by 8.
Yeah.
You need to leave by 8 o'clock because she needs to turn in for the night. But no, he's going to go over there and he's going to cook something for her. And I'd be like, can we just order in or go out to eat? I don't want you making something for me. And especially, I think he said he's salmon. That's going to stink up the house.
Exactly.
Now it's going to be all fishy. But
Yeah.
listen, he just wants things. He's not planning on sleeping with her. Don't worry, wives. I'm not sleeping with her. I'll just lead her to the bedroom and then she can just lay on the rose petals by herself.
Yeah.
He wants things to be, and I did not just toot, by the way. I'm sitting on my Dwight Schrute
Your
bouncy
ball.
seat ball thing. He wants things to be organic with her. And he can't have things just happen organically if he's planning on being home at 3 a.m. Like if things happen, things happen. Okay, Marcus has not eaten an organic thing in his life because if he did, he would get all the nutrients he needed and he would be at least 5'2".
He's so tiny.
He is so little. When he was walking around the kitchen, he was putting things in the sink and
He was reaching up into the sink.
yeah, the sink itself was at chest level. I'm not even joking. Go and watch this. He is such a little man. And I feel completely comfortable saying this because he's an asshole.
Yeah, totally.
I don't mind short people if they're nice.
Yeah, of
But
course.
he's insecure about it, so I'm going to make fun of him. Because he needs to be taken
he
down.
has small dick energy, too.
Yeah, I don't get a big... Actually, what do you call it? A micro-peen? I get micro-peen
What do I call
energy.
it? Yeah, I can see that. And because I've said this before, a lot of the times the tinier guys have the bigger dicks that I've seen, but not him. You can tell that everything's pretty much in
Proportion.
Yeah, in proportion.
See, I think that's where your mistake is. You think littler guys have a big peen because it's just the proportions. you're seeing it in relation to a smaller body. I
Chris
think if you
was
were
like 5'6" though, and like he had a genuinely big dick.
Big Dick Chris is only 5'6"?
Yeah, he was about my height.
Oh. Well, this changes everything for me. This is like confirmation that there's a nearby planet with other humans. You know what? Now that I think of it, he probably is short, like you said, because I don't think he's standing next to people in a lot of his photos. There's a lot of him sitting down, and I think that's probably on purpose. Okay. This all makes sense. Okay, so anyhow, here we go. Marcus is still trying to convince his wives to let him have sex with other women, and he's upset because Taryn is like fine with him going on dates. She doesn't want him necessarily spending the night, which is so stupid. If he's gonna have sex with her, like, you can have sex at other hours of the day and night.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be a sleepover. But he's more pissed with India, and we know that because he calls her to the other room like a parent would call their child to have a one-on-one
let me
talk.
holler at you for a second.
Come here, let me holler at you a second. And she's like, oh. She's like my kids when I tell them to go up to the room, like their shoulders are slumped, like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. I didn't even do anything. Ooh. And he tells her that he doesn't want to hear about these things, about her possibly not wanting another wife to move in, or maybe someone's gonna have to move out. She's not sure she wants to be in this relationship because that makes him insecure. And he's like, damn, why are we still in this place together?
It triggers him, Jody.
Yeah, I'm totally confused what he's saying here. Like,
because back in the day when, when she thought they were in a monogamous relationship, and he's like, surprise,
but he was still with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
She would threaten to leave a lot until he broke her down with manipulation. So it triggers him, Jode. I don't think men should even be allowed to use the word triggered, in my opinion. Yeah, but right. he said it triggers him because it reminds him of when she used to threaten stuff like that. Like, I thought I manipulated you far enough.
So he's not saying in this conversation that he's not going to pursue anyone else. He's not saying, like, okay, I'll hold off.
I guess he's kind of saying that, though, too.
Yeah, okay, I seriously was totally confused. I couldn't follow his train of thought.
Well, he says, I mean, like, there's, in my head, you're my forever, the two of you. So if you don't want me to, like, if it's going to be a problem and you're going to move out, then we're not going to, like, then I'll just stop doing all this shit. But no, you're not.
Oh, though. Okay. Until he's pouting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't feel happy. Ooh, okay, got it. So this is just part of the manipulation. It's the next step.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Shall we talk about Sidian?
Yeah, let's just get that out of the way. This is like, I'm kind of happy for him. They seem like they get along well. Like, yeah, they're fine. They had a good time.
They're also, the boring couple.
Yeah, they're on vacation also, like, so it's gonna be very different when she moves.
They had intimacy. I'm gonna need him not to say that, though. Arielle and I did have intimacy last night. It's too, like, my lover and I shared intimacy last night.
The producers, you can actually hear the producer goes, did you guys have sex?
Yeah, so the girl, she's like,
so gross.
It had to be very hot and sweaty because I didn't see even an in-window AC unit.
I know.
In that
when
room.
they woke up and they were under the covers and they were just like wrapped around each other, I'm like, ew.
So sweaty, those sheets, and how many thousands of people have sweated through those things. Ew. Gross.
Remember in 90 Day Fiance when Rose and Ed spend their first night together and they ask Rose, like, did you? And she's like, I don't feel comfortable. Answering that. And then they ask Ed and he's like, yeah, we totally did it.
When she was pretending she was sleeping, like Sleeping Beauty. He went to brush his teeth for a second and she's like, shh, shh. There was like a feather floating above her mouth.
Yeah.
She's so no, Sidian worries me. Number one, because he wore like a Garanimals outfit with the matching floral top.
I thought it was a
shorts.
onesie for a second, but it wasn't.
Oh, I could totally see him wearing like one of those retro button-up onesie things. The men's.
Like the stripies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like little boy blue. But also, he's very pale. I worry that he's anemic.
Yeah, he's teeny.
I think he needs some iron supplements, which might actually offset that that chicken and rice meal that he had, because that looked like he was going to fly right through him. So maybe the iron tablets will help balance things out, because he's very pale and very anemic. And when he tried to toss her in the water and he couldn't lift her up, like they weren't deep enough to have that buoyancy.
Yeah.
Not that I would know anything about that, because I definitely float in all shallowness of water.
But they get off this boat. They're like wet, and then they sit down. There is not a napkin in sight. They're dirty as fuck. They've just been in the ocean and on this boat. They're touching everything.
Yep.
And then and I know that it is kind of a cultural thing to feed other people like with your hands, but like I'd be like, I need you to like at least get a wet nap or something before you just like shut. And it wasn't even something like a chicken finger or something. It was just rice.
So like you're gonna have to try. Your tongue is going to have to make almost like a licking motion.
Yeah.
To get that like
Slurp
ballast. Right.
So and then there's no napkins anywhere. Like
nothing.
Ew. Like I guess she's just wiping it on her like bare leg.
I'd be like, can you use that leaf as a coaster for it or something? And then also when he ran in the water, it was such a classic Jody move that you keep the shirt on or the cover up on until the last very moment and throw it off. He knew what he was doing. And I guess I see him and I validate that for him. But okay, so when he's lifting her up in the water, you could tell he got to the point where he was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to lift her out of the water. I can't do this, because he goes, ugh, and he strains a little bit. He goes, I'm going to dunk you in the drink.
Oh,
I was just like, dunk you in the drink, m'lady. The drink. And then he just like slapped her down in there. But she's into how nerdy he looks, and she thinks it's going to be just great that they're going to be polygamous together.
I mean, this is at least something I feel could work out. He doesn't seem like a total piece of shit.
No, I think he's a nice guy. I don't see him in any sort of sexual way. I cannot picture him having sex at all. I
feel like he has a huge one.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like, and it's also like a shower. It's not like it's just always hanging there,
just like
around.
Long.
Yeah.
Again, I think this could be a proportion thing because he is so slight and anemic.
He's a slight man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anyhow. Listen, they're fine. His wife is fine with him sleeping all together. I don't think she's going to actually make the move.
Yeah.
Long term, but whatever. They're having a good old time. I mean, we got to save Garrick and Danielle for last. So, or do you want to save Nick?
No, I think we should talk about Nick last.
Okay.
Because at this point, again, somehow they've managed to find two men on this show that make Garrick seem like one of the less threatening ones.
Right.
And Garrick was such the villain last season. Like, he was what you were tuning in for.
Because he was actively having sex literally behind his wife's back.
Oh, God.
All right. So we're checking out the Merfolds' new house. It's been 15 months. It's specifically designed for 2 or 3 wives. Was it just me, or did the kitchen seem awfully small?
It was
for a
super
4,000
small.
square foot house.
I
would love that kitchen. Like, I would love the kitchen, but for a 4,000 square foot house that you're going to have at least, well, we'll see, at least 2 wives working around, that island should have been bumped way out.
Yeah, it was a weird
bad design. 1,000 square foot garage. Yeah, 7 bedrooms. Let's talk about this. All right. So Garrick is going to have his own master. He will have the master bedroom, which is huge. It's like one of those masters with the sitting area and the walk-in closets and the big bathroom. And, it's extra insulated because, you know.
And then of all the 7 bedrooms in the house, you don't put the wives' shared bedroom on
What's
the
going on
opposite. At least when Cody Brown designed his house, he made sure that like everyone was as far away as possible.
Opposite
from
quadrants.
Yeah. So they're right on top.
Directly above.
Yep.
And Danielle and Bert are going to share a room. There's 2 double beds, not even queens.
It's like I Love Lucy.
2 full-size beds sharing a room. And again, that room was not big enough for two beds.
It was small. It was a small room.
For one room, one bed, fine. But two full-size beds, you're going to have what? At least two dressers in there in a shared bathroom? How is that supposed to work out when they're expecting Bert to immediately pop out a baby, more than one baby preferably? Is she going to be like nursing her baby?
I guess technically they would never be sleeping together. Because they would
why
be
don't they have
always
their
taking
own
turns.
rooms?
That doesn't make any, I don't know how, it just does benefit him in some way. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, it does benefit him because they want him to be king of the castle, right? But they should have their own
how does it benefit him
rooms.
to have the women sleeping in the same room?
That makes no sense to me. There's something very, very weird with that. Either it's Danielle playing a really good manipulator, being like, I'm going to make her as uncomfortable as possible.
Okay, sure. This could still be part of her long game.
Or Danielle is very, very lonely and sad and thinks this is the only way that she will have a friend or someone to talk to. That like what's his name? Garrick wouldn't be able to like sneak into Bert's room at some point.
But again, they would never be sleeping together.
I know. I don't get it. It makes zero sense to me. And what did you want your own privacy? Like, what if you have to, like,
fart?
What if you toot at night? Or what if you have to get up and, I mean, I don't want someone hearing me pee from laying in bed. Like, even if she has to get up and pee at night. And you're sharing a bathroom, like, when it's that time of the month and when you're changing and just, like, leaving your stuff out.
Yeah, you won't be decorating. Like, I'd want to at least be able to
living in a dorm.
My own space.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're only going to be using, so if there's 7 bedrooms, Garrett gets 1, her 2 kids, I'm assuming each have their own room. But yeah, why do the kids get their own room, but you don't?
Yeah.
And then they share a room. That's still 3 extra bedrooms currently that are not being used.
And if she pops out a baby, so there's a baby room, then there's still 2 rooms left
extra.
Over.
And they have an extra gym that's built. They have an extra homeschool room. He's got a 1,000-square-foot garage. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, of all the polygamous stuff that you and I have taken in over the years, like the media, right. I've never heard of this, that the wives sleep together.
Oh, they are adamant that they have their own rooms and the man goes from one to the other. I mean, listen, if Garrick wants to have like his own room, his own space, fine. Right?
Yes. Yeah,
okay, and can I just, I mean, I'm sure you've thought about this, and I hate that I have to be the first one to say this, but let's just say you and Garrick have 2 nights together. Let's say it's like 2 nights on, 2 nights off. Are you changing the sheets every 2 nights? Are you like climbing into your sister wives' drying spot? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, that's a lot of changing of sheets and mattress pads.
Yeah, Danielle would be the one doing all that. I don't think Bert's going to lift a finger when she gets there.
Oh, she'll be busy with the baby.
Speaking of braces.
Oof, yeah. Maybe she's not coming here because she's waiting for her orthodontic treatment plan to be over with. Maybe that's why she's not picking up. I think that
she's mad that they were dating another person and she's, like, over it now.
Yeah.
Or she met someone else. It's as simple as that. She probably just met someone else.
I bet you she met someone else. And she's like seeing if there's any future there first before she hops into this thing.
Also, isn't her mother in poor health? Like, I wouldn't want to leave now. This is a terrible time for her to move.
Yeah. Or is her mother in bad health?
I mean, oh God.
Right?
We've seen her once only on that one video chat.
Yeah, I think it's time to give it up. I think it's time that instead of calling Bert and being like, oh, sad, and both crying that she doesn't pick up, why don't you stop calling her and see if she ever reaches out? And if she doesn't, then forget it.
In the title card, when it presents like Danielle and Garrick, the Merrifields, the picture is her like on the couch, and she's like smiling at the camera, and he is like leaning over and kissing her, and like the height difference is so, because he's already like leaning in to kiss her, but his head stops at like the bottom of her eye.
I think he has leaned in at some points, and he kisses her shoulder. because he's just not tall enough to reach that far. It's just kind of
Yeah.
where things end up. But you know what we could do with Bert's mom? Danielle's dad could take a sister wife, and he can marry Bert's mom.
That was a funny joke.
It was
really
so funny.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. You know what else was really funny? Actually, not seeing a dog's testicles just dangling all
literally
around
just
and
thinking
zooming
that
in on
before
them.
you said that. Yeah, I think it's gross. I think the dogs are so gross that still have their testicles because they look like a man's scrotum. It's disgusting.
Okay, it is disgusting, but I guess I've never thought about this because I don't have a boy dog specifically for this reason because I didn't want a penis, a dog penis on anything in my house.
Right.
Well, I mean, like, all boy dogs have to have testicles. How come you don't
Yeah, but they get neutered.
They cut them off when they neuter it?
Yeah, they take them out.
They, like, cut the whole sack off?
They slice it open, take out the testicles, and then they, like, sew it up. You've never known that?
I never, like, noticed it. No, I mean...
Yeah, you can kind of see, like, the little, like, two bumpies. Like, they're very teeny, though.
I've never, like, stared at boy dogs, but, I mean... Yeah, because I guess they have a penis, and you only see some dogs that have the balls like that. They just take them off? I thought they went, like, I thought when they neutered them, they just went in there and, like, tied something together or, like, snipped something.
I think it's rare that, like, unless you have, like, a purebred dog, most people do get their dogs neutered and spayed. So, like, you'll know, like, to see a dog with balls is very rare. There's only a few at my work, and we have, like, 600 clients.
So if there's balls on there, they're not fixed.
Exactly. If you can visibly see balls, then that dog is not fixed.
Oh, so the dog next door to us, Forrest, he's got balls. I just thought because he was a German
balls?
Shepherd. Yeah.
You can, like, see them?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just thought, like,
probably
that
he's a German
breed, you can
Shepherd.
see him. Oh, boy.
I don't know if it's a purebred, but yeah, there's, and also...
Leave us a review, guys. Let us know what you think about dog
balls.
testicles.
No, it's also, like, if a dog walks in to my work with balls, all the dogs just fucking go for it. Because, like, the boy dogs are just, like, they all want to hump it. They all want to, because they're mad that this dog has balls. It's such an interesting dynamic.
Oh, like they want to dominate it.
Exactly, yeah, they hate it.
Because they're like, no, I'm
jealous.
Big Dick Chris.
Yeah.
God.
How dare you get to keep your... But this specific dog, this bulldog, these are the biggest balls I've ever seen.
They were like chubby, dangly balls. It was just...
They were like dragging along the ground.
Yes.
I know.
It already had short little legs.
Yeah.
It's just a chubby sack scraped across the floor. It was so gross. I see it. And it was like pink. It was very fleshy.
I know. No, I definitely... I was wondering if you were going to, like...
How do you... They zoomed in on the dog. It wasn't even like walking in the background. They zoomed in on it as it walked away with the balls.
Yeah, and then as they were having this conversation, the whole family, the dog was just like sitting like a frog, like all the like splayed out.
It's tired carrying that thing around all day.
Holy shit! And then the balls are just kind of like touching the floor.
Oh, it's like dragging behind. It's got to lay in a certain way, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I hate that we're talking about this. All right, so shall we move on to another dog? Nick, see what I did there?
Again, droopy dog.
Okay, this guy is a predator, and April is his pimp.
Yes,
100%. I think April is evil.
Yeah, and I hate her more and more now because she really does look like Renee, this girl at work that used to bully me.
All right, well, they're all cooking together because they're just like one big happy family.
They're cooking salmon too, I think.
The biggest slab. This was a slab of salmon.
I know. He's like, let me check it out. Yeah, looks like it's doing pretty good. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're
He
doing.
has no fucking idea what he's doing. And he's at the grill, and this is how I know he's never been near a grill in his life. He's got two utensils, okay? He's got, like, you know when you buy your pack for the grill, it's got, like, the long tongies, and then it comes with, like, a spatula one.
Yeah.
He's got both of them, one in each hand, and he's, like, at the grill trying to, like, flip it and move it with both of them at the same time. Because he's that stupid. He thinks, like, oh, it came with two. You must use them at the same time.
I can also guarantee you that was a seasoned salmon. Like it had like a glaze on it.
Oh yeah, and it just had like the plastic wrap on top, and it had like a sprig. Was that thyme or rosemary? There was a sprig of something, and he sticks it in Danielle's face like, smell these herbs. Did you see this part?
I wasn't. I remember.
Please, you
guys.
guys.
I don't think I was looking at the TV.
Go back and watch it, because he sticks it in her face, and she smells it, and he pulls it away, and you see her go like, and she does. She's got those prolonged neck face expression movement sort of things. It's a little delayed.
Her reaction time. Yeah, she has very delayed reaction to stuff.
But please watch that one, because it was a delayed like, and she kind of like shook her head. And then Jennifer is sitting there with a little Ziploc reusable container and what looked like carrot coins in a brown sugar butter glaze. And she's just like mixing it up on that. I'm like, oh God.
This is like a completely orange glaze meal. Also, you know what? Jennifer reminds me of just like a Manson girl.
Oh, for sure. I told you, she kind of reminds me of like a Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Yeah, but I think that she would kill.
Elf.
She would have been in the Manson cult for sure. She would have been one of the murderers. She like the whole hot tub scene. Her dynamic was so strange.
Yeah, or like it looked like she was drugged up on something. Like Nick slipped her something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's kind of a blankness behind her eyes.
Like, it feels like very competitive now because Danielle's like the new thing, but Jennifer knows that she's like the hot one. I guess.
She stayed up all night with Nick. Oh, they were up real late with each other. That's what he said. Like, you've been together. They're not technically married because Jennifer and April are married together. There's got to be some sort of scheme with that. I want to know, is Nick on disability or something where like he can't collect it if he's married? Or
I wonder
if he owes child support, and if he's married they can garnish his wife's wages. There's something else to this.
I truly think that it's just that he doesn't, if they break up, he won't owe them anything.
I think it's that too, but there's got to be some active,
although he doesn't have any money of his own.
Yeah, something's real fucked up with that. But Nick grabs Danielle so they can be alone together on those folding chairs outside by the grill. He's like, yeah, come on, baby, come on. So, could I ask you? And he does like a reverse Danielle. She leans in and like nods and looks.
Yeah.
He leans his head back to the side and like looks down towards his nose all the time, like, It's like,
well, I mean, his eyes are so droopy and squinty that I think he just needs to like rear his head back to kind of get like visual.
Well, basically, he wants to know how Danielle feels about being in this relationship, because when they bring another wife in, is he going to be cool with her marrying that hypothetical wife that may or may not enter the picture?
This was
and
insane
still take
to
his
me.
name.
He asked this. This is like their like fourth date ever, and
Their
he's like,
first
he's already
48 hours together.
Yeah. And she's already
someone?
not even like the new wife anymore. She's truly brown, basically.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. How do you even say yes or no to this? Because I don't know this woman that I'm supposed to marry.
Yeah, that doesn't even exist.
How can I tell you yes or no? Yeah, are we even going to be capable of tricking another woman into this cult? How do we know this is even possible?
Danielle, and the cameramen were being very specific about showing Danielle's reactions and faces. Like, you could tell that she was like, holy shit. I wonder what this would have been like if the camera crew
God, I know, I
there.
thought about the same thing.
Like, at least she had the camera crew there. Like, okay, I'm not unsafe, but like, holy crap.
I think they would have slipped her
so
something or gotten her drunk enough, and they would have had a really disturbing orgy.
Oh,
I feel that in my heart. Because it definitely had that energy. Okay, so really quickly, we have Danielle says that she talks to Jennifer in April about it, and they like all agree, like, yeah, well, this is just like a commitment as a group, so it really wasn't a big deal for Jennifer and I to get married because we're just one big happy family. And Nick, he just wants us all to feel equal. He doesn't want there to be jealousy or a hierarchy. And that's when Nick swings in and escorts Jennifer by her little fingertippies over to the grill to help him. He like gets her little hand and she does like a little spin and they walk over to the grill and he's like, yeah, come on and help me, baby. Come on, help me get this salmon, baby. Come on. All right. So Danielle's like, I just want to make sure that to us, she's saying this, the safety of just the camera crew, looking very uncomfortable. I just want to make sure that we go about this in the right way, that we're very particular about anyone else coming into this relationship, that everyone's interests are involved and it's very cohesive. Because, yeah, this is really out of my comfort zone, which I think was a cry for help.
Yeah.
Like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Can you get me out of here, please, camera people? So they continue getting her drunk on what I can only assume is Riesling. Ugh. And
nothing like Riesling and salmon before you get in a hot tub.
oh my God, I would be so nauseous. And candied carrots. Yummy. So
now let's
much
all
sugar.
get into our bathing suits and get into a boiling pot.
They want to put her into a diabetic coma so that they can take advantage of her. It's really concerning. God. So Nick is like, why don't you ladies go clean up? Just go clean up. Slip on your swimsuits. And we'll just see how the sex flows. That's what he said. He wants to see how the sex flows.
Bathing suit. I'm like, girl.
Okay, I think it was fairly flattering on her. Now, would I wear that? Oh, April. Sorry, I was thinking Danielle.
No, Danielle actually looked good in that.
Danielle, that's what I was thinking. No, again, I would never wear what Danielle was wearing, period, let alone on camera. But God bless her, because she did look good. I thought she looked good.
It was like, but she was so uncomfortable in it, though.
The boobs.
But anyway, no, let's go. Yeah, she didn't like boobs. Let's go through April.
Okay,
I mean,
hold on. On the count of three,
there are bathing suits. Okay.
On the count of three, what year was this designed and sold at Walmart? Okay. Think about it. Think about those like daisies, the flowers on it.
No, I got it.
And the skirting.
I'm locked and loaded.
3, 2, 1. 95.
1994.
Okay. I could see like maybe we were like winter 94, spring 95. For those like spring break getaways. Now, I have been known to wear a little skirted, not skirted from no,
really?
not skirted from the Ampere waist, if you will. Like I've had bottoms that are
I'll wear a sarong.
It's like a tight skirt sort of swimsuit bottom.
But it's like not if you're wearing a little attached. I feel like but I feel like any little bathing suit with an attached skirt, you're just saying like fuck it.
It was a one piece with a skirt, and it was almost like a little cape, like a little sort of reveal thing on the bottom.
I can't believe that all three of those women. Well, I mean Jennifer looked good, but I can't believe that Danielle and April agreed to be seen on camera. Like Danielle was like, "Here we go."
Again, she looked good though. I thought she looked good in that.
It was a very flattering swimsuit.
Bad angle that they shot her at when she was forced to strip
up in the air. Oh my God. I couldn't believe that. I felt so bad for her. Not that she even looked bad. Like her butt actually looked good too. But just like, come on.
The anglage of it was like right there, so it looked just like a huge flat area. And I am not body shaming her. Again, she looks better in a swimsuit than I look for sure. Like I have genetic cellulite, okay? Like I definitely have cellulite. I have the world's flattest ass. Like a marble could roll down my back easily. A very flat ass. But even shot from that angle was so like give her some privacy. They could have zoomed in on their faces of them kissing.
Yeah. But before that even happened this whole thing was so uncomfortable, and it had such a bad energy about it, and you could tell Danielle was like, oh my God,
what's happening?
But now I'm here, so I guess I might as well go along with it. But
yeah,
they're all just switching each other. He's like kissing
circling
their upper thigh.
That was
I swear to God, his dick went inside Jennifer at a few points.
Oh,
she was
for
just like
sure.
grinding her butt.
Yeah.
Like they were having sex, I think. I can't, do not tell me different.
Yeah, she kept
was
backing her
inside.
ass up into him. And then at one point his head was between April's legs.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew.
Ew, ew, ew. I'd be uncomfortable if it was just my husband and I alone sitting in there and he was just like relaxing back with his head in there. What is going on? Gross.
But didn't this also seem kind of like a pissing contest with Jennifer? That she like wore this like insanely hot bathing suit.
Ew.
Like, well, yeah, I'm.
But
and Danielle was just
he's
adjusting her swimsuit the
helicoptering
whole time.
his love.
Yeah, what a weird expression.
Helicoptering his love. That just sounds like he's like swinging his dick around and wherever it lands or hits.
Ew.
Jennifer at one point is like motorboating him. She starts like sitting on him and then she turns around and her boobs are like, mm. And then Nick says aloud, I mean, you know, you ladies, you could just circle around, figure out who gets me. I mean, you could rock, paper, scissors all night. You're not going to be uncomfortable if I roll out at night, are you? Two things there. That was not a slip of phrase. You can rock, paper, scissors all night.
Oh, yeah, they're like, oh, good one. He's so.
No,
Ew,
he meant
because
that.
of, like, yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
God.
he basically says, if I roll over you to get out of the bed at night to go have sex with one of your sister wives, you're cool with that, right? It wasn't even, he said, you're cool with that, right? Not like,
Yeah.
how do you feel? It wasn't an open-ended question.
Right.
So she was like, sat there for a moment or two. And that was not editing. Like, that was in real time.
I was noticing that too, that it was not editing. They did let it play out.
And again, you could tell she's uncomfortable. And I think probably everyone has been in a situation where you're not totally comfortable there, but you don't know how to get out of it. And you're going along with something, whether it's sexual or drugs or something else, or laughing along to something where you just go along with it because you're so uncomfortable, you're frozen in fear. And she's like, no, as long as you don't wake me up. And April's just staring at her like an evil madman. Like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? And then Nick hoists April's ass out of the tub and keeps smacking it.
Close up of this. This was just, again, come on, TLC.
Yeah.
You can do better than this.
And he's just going.
This was so disrespectful.
Yeah, he was playing like patty cake. He's like on her ass.
I mean, he definitely likes an ass.
Yeah. And then when they kiss, when he and Danielle kiss, do you notice that hers are like the inner and his upper and lower did like a like a greater than sign, and it went like over them.
How old is he? He's like 38, 42?
Oh, I think he said, let me see if I wrote it down. He says 38. Yeah, right.
He's younger than me.
There's no way in hell he is 38. He's 48 if he's a day.
But even if he was 38, it's still way too much of an age gap.
Yeah, because she's 22.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all. It's very, very predatory. I mean, Danielle doesn't stay with them, right?
I can't imagine she does. I'm sure that anyone watching this that are friends with her right now are like, get out. God, remember that show we recapped for 2 episodes and then it got pulled? Adults adopting adults. Bye bye.
Oh my God, that was insane.
That
it
might
had
have
the
been
same feel.
Yeah, as the hot tub scene. That was like the whole feeling of the tie-dye guy.
Yep. At what point do production crews have some sort of moral obligation to step in?
Yeah. I would like to know that too. Mm-hmm. Because they also need to make a good story.
I feel like if I were on the crew, I would pull her aside, even if no one else knew, even like other people on the crew would know, and just be like, I just want to make sure you're cool with this because I sensed you were a little uncomfortable. We can always say, I can call you up, like I always tell you. Do you want me to say someone's sick, that your apartment's on fire? I'll call you. I'll give you an out. Something. Yikes. All right, shall we move on to 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah.
Pretty much a sleeper episode. This show's going down the tubes quickly, but there's still couples I love to hate.
Yeah, and I guess I think Karen and Guillermo are probably going to be out next week. It looks like they're actually getting married next week. Fine.
Yeah, she had a pajama party, and Guillermo's downstairs. Cool.
Ari still hasn't washed her hair since the pregnancy test episode.
God. Yeah, let me jump to Ari here. What did I have written down? I mean, because she's just oh, I wrote down Feifel. She's an annoying Feifel from American Tail.
Oh, yeah. What? How? Why?
Because she's just got like this like mousy face and like do teams.
Okay.
Don't you feel it's how she talks? Like her voice goes inward. It projects inward towards her throat and her nose.
For sure. Yeah.
They're buying time for the wedding to decide if they actually want to get married or not.
Okay, sure, girl.
Mm-hmm. So there's 20 days till the wedding again, and her mom's like, "Oh, Ari, you're a bride. Oh, you forgot a word there, Mom. Again. She's a bride again. She's been married. She was married like 10 years ago. And I think their divorce was just legal like 2 years ago. Let's not pretend this is her first wedding. You've never seen her. Okay, whatever. They have 7 days till the wedding. We see Benny sewing pants for little Avi.
I was so impressed with that.
Yes.
Sewing's hard, and sewing pants is very hard.
Pants with pleats. And it had a cuff on the pants too. Open up an Etsy shop.
I was thinking that time, I'm like, he could, I think he could make money on MMA. He's obviously good at it. He could fly through the air.
I'll tell you what, I would buy a tunic or a kimono style sort of thing from Benny.
Yeah, like he could really make money. I mean, someone's got to make money.
That's my favorite silhouette. Just a straight down tunic.
Yeah, that's impressive that he can do that.
Yeah. I don't know why he's not taking advantage of that. So, I mean, basically, all I want to say after watching this is I can tell Ari is a hands-off mom.
Yeah, we never see her interacting with the baby at all. And when she took him to the playground that one time, she was on the phone the whole time.
She's like, "Oh, Ami, you're like running around, Ami. You want to come? Mommy loves you." All right. The reason I'm saying that is that I've never, ever seen, and I mean, I've worked with thousands of children, even little ones, that every time especially their mom walks in a room, they dash towards their mom. Their face lights up.
Right.
When she walked in the apartment, if you notice, he's sitting down with Benny, and she walks in. He doesn't even flinch. He sees her and he just goes back to playing whatever. And she just goes, "Hi, Abby," and comes and sits down. She has a whole conversation with Benny before Avi even like comes over to touch her, hug her, do anything. And then when he does, he's like shoving Ari's face into Benny like, "Hey, my dad needs love. Could you like..."
Oh, God.
I know. It was really sad. All right. Someone else, please tell me that you noticed that, because it was actually very sad.
Well, and also, they're gonna get married though.
Oh, for sure.
Like they have to.
For sure. I just feel like Benny truly loves this kid, and he is a great dad, and she's just...
And he's like fine with her. He's gonna put up with her.
Right. Eva Mohammed, 43 days to wed. And, yeah.
I do not like your friends.
Oh my God.
This is crazy to me. I'm more scared of him with every episode we watch.
Yeah.
It's like the smiling needs to stop. Stop fucking smiling. But his eyes just...
There's nothing behind them.
There's nothing.
There's no soul.
And he's conventionally attractive. Like, I feel like on anyone else, his eyes would be considered, like, beautiful eyes. Because they're striking.
Because they're a glass doll eye.
Yeah, they are.
It's scary.
Oh, my God, he's scary.
I don't know what she is not seeing. Like, he could not be more clear. I am here for me.
She's just so desperate.
I am all about me. But I think she's actually very pretty.
I do too. But I think she just wanted this so long, and now it's here. So, it'll work itself out. Like, she's just trying to justify it. And, let's give it a shot.
I mean, it's very easy for me to say because I'm not out there in the dating world, so I have no idea what the dating pool is. But I've got to think that there's some other guy who would see the value. Like, she's got a house. She's got a job. She's got a very sweet kid. She's pretty. She takes care of her health. She's got an okay relationship with her ex. She's got a lot going for her. You can do better than this. This guy is giving back nothing to you. And I can't see
Also, but
him
she
being
says
very
that she
sexual
doesn't have a
either.
good relationship with her parents, so I feel like there's probably a lot of daddy issues, stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't get this. Okay, so she just reiterates, I've done a lot for the past 2 years, and this ceremony means a lot to me. So her friend comes to see her at work, and she does like this cupping thing, and I can't watch that.
No, I was like,
Oof.
ah!
I don't like the look
God.
of that.
I've heard that it does work, but
Yeah.
like, and the spot right there just looked like 2 extra boobs on top. It just
Oh.
looks so uncomfortable too.
And I feel like
Such
if
thin skin there.
if she did like 2 pumps on me, it would be, those cups would be filled up. I feel like they would need a larger cup size.
God,
Like the amount
also
of skin and flesh that would get sucked up into there.
when you take those off, you have like cup circle marks. For,
Yeah,
like,
Michael Phelps
days, I
used to
think.
have them all over him.
Really? Okay. Well, holy shit.
Anyway, I did keep thinking as her friend's talking, and she's like barely doing a neck massage. I'd be like, shh, 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 just concentrate more on the.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm here to talk to you about this, and this is why they're filming, but can you just little deeper, little more firm, just get in there. Okay, so the friend is pretty much like, okay, he asked for another sponsor. Does he even know what that means? And also, that's mean of him to say.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to marry me now, how I want it done? Then I'll just get someone else.
And Eve's
Fuck
like,
you.
no, I mean, he just, when you fight, you say things you don't mean. I'm like, oh, girl, stop justifying this.
Okay. Speaking of justify, the only thing I cannot justify about Eve is that she keeps saying the squad.
I know, you're 48 years old.
There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
I mean, if he can't get along with the squad, I don't know what's going to happen. And it's not even like my squad, which is not much better, but the squad.
To imply that other people refer to them as the squad.
Oh,
Okay.
And it seems like the squad consists of maximum 3 other people.
Yeah, it's a group of 4 women.
Ooh. All right, so they go to they do the fire, right?
Yeah, well, she tells him that they're at coffee, and she's like, I'm gonna have the squad come over,
right.
and I want you to see what I do. And he goes, this seems crazy to me. But I mean, he does. I was kind of on his side here because he's like, they were really disrespectful to me, and I will not be interrogated anymore. She's like, well, think about me though. What about me? They were disrespectful. They were like asking him if he watched porn and if he'd ever fucked anyone else before. It's like, that's not.
Yeah, again.
They did not give him a chance, and he was nice to them when he was.
No,
like,
they were
met
judgmental
them.
because production absolutely fired them up
Sure.
before, and they had to say that. But if he's got to be willing to at least give him another shot, and if he's that immature enough and that dumb enough to, even in the back of his mind, to think like, okay, well, they did tell them to like talk to me and ask questions, whatever. And then during the fire ceremony, which it looked a little janky because it was in our backyard, but I would actually enjoy doing this and experiencing
fine.
this. I think it's fine.
I laughed out loud when they were like, it just seems like you don't like us. And he's like, no, I don't.
No, I'm fine, thank you. But he says to us, I'm not okay with Eve's beliefs. If we wish something, why don't we just ask God? Fire has nothing to do with wishes. If that's how Eve and her friends practice their spirituality, that goes against my beliefs. So Eve should know that's not the best way to get close to me with her friends. Now, I wonder how Eve currently, what she thought of that. Because we know that they've
watching
been
the back.
seen together recently, so they obviously must have gotten married.
So disappointing.
But I think seeing this stuff after the fact, like what you were actually saying to production when we weren't around, if that changes things. Because that's pretty
I would
harsh.
think.
Like what she's thinking and what she's believing in is stupid, especially because we see that it's how she makes a living.
Yeah.
And I think I'd read it. I saw people saying that she is like Native American and you have to, like be blessed by your tribe in order to perform certain things that she does. So this is like a very deeply rooted cultural thing for her. He wouldn't enjoy if she were saying specific things about his being Muslim and his beliefs.
No, it's all about him.
It's insulting. But yeah, anyway, so they're like, oh, you don't like us? No. Oh, okay. He's like, I felt judged by every one of you. Everything weird to me. That's kind of
Again,
Diane
just
Jenkins.
smiling and just like
God, get rid of
severe
him.
eye contact. Yeah,
Get rid
go
of
away.
him. Horrible. Who else do we have? Patrick and Thais. I'm so annoyed with them. Patrick and Thais.
Do you think she'll go back? It shows her packing next episode.
No. She's not going back.
Her dad seems like a huge asshole. I hate him. They've been dating for 2 years. He learned Portuguese for her.
Yeah.
What did Patrick do
Okay.
that
I
he hates
think
in this?
Thais is playing a Jibri. Like, she's playing both sides of it.
Okay, yeah.
Because she wants her dad to
She wants
love
to be
her.
daddy's
Be
girl.
like, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, he loves me more than any man could, and I'm your little girl. I mean, she lied to him. She didn't tell him she was moving here.
Did you see he had like a visible twitch when she said we're getting married, the dad? You didn't see his face twitch? It was like an involuntary like twitch.
I was staring at his nostrilectomy. I mean, like, it was right up in the nasal passage there.
Yeah, this is
It's
a bad angle.
I actually felt bad for Patrick in this circumstance.
Me too.
I mean, again, all this stuff is kind of cooked up. We know it's going to happen. But I don't think he knew to the extent how upset his dad was going to be. And I actually liked his brother here, where he was like, go eavesdrop. You got to kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you because you have good intentions for her. So, yeah,
whatever.
I don't know. It's just annoying. They're going to end up together. We know that she's pregnant. It's going to be fine.
Oh, that's right. She is pregnant. Yeah. Okay. So I guess.
I think she thrives on the drama, just like Jibri. Speaking of Jibri, I know we're kind of flying through this, but it was just a very boring episode.
Well, let's get Karen Guillermo out of the way because.
Oh, I thought we already did. She has a sleepover with her friends, and she's
and he talks to a dog in the basement, and they're fine.
Yeah, and she's bitching to her friends about the relationship. I wrote, I can't with girls like this. They're like, I don't know, like, what he expects of me. I'm like, I mean, I'm an independent, strong girl. Like, what you see is what you get, okay? Like, I know I'm allowed to handle. I wouldn't even want to handle myself.
Just because you admit that you're an asshole doesn't make it okay to be an asshole.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that she didn't go out, like, because she knew that he would be upset about it. So, like, she at least did bend a little bit here.
Sure.
Fine. They're going to get married next episode. Great.
That's it.
But yeah, bye. Is oh, and then we had Emily and Kobe and then Jibri.
Right.
Amina?
And
Okay.
did we see Shida and Bilal? Yeah, we saw them too. Well, let's start about Jibri and Miona here.
This was hilarious, and this is the first time I liked his parents. What a little bitch.
Him?
I liked the parents here.
I liked Miona.
I like Miona too, but like the parent, like
this was so fun to watch.
Jibri is a product of them.
Oh my god!
They created this monster.
They're a family of assholes.
What a turnoff to have your like almost 30-year-old fiance being like, well, this is just so messed up, and I feel like I'm 15 all over again. And the dad goes, yeah, I feel like you're being 15 all over again too. Hilarious.
They're all stubborn, self-righteous assholes. The three of them. I mean, Miona's kind of whatever too, but I like Miona the best in this circumstance. First of all,
yeah, but
hey, cool game of Uno, you two.
Yeah, they were also wearing matching white jogging pants today because they always. Did you see in the next episode they're moving out and they're both wearing matching pink puffer jackets?
I can't. Jesus.
What's all the talk about saving money for the wedding, Jibri? You're like you're getting 2 of everything.
I told you. Well, hey, there's a BOGO on Shein.com, and he's stocking up.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
All right,
go.
so they're playing Uno, and Brian comes and knocks on the door. He's like, can you come upstairs to see me? Now. Yeah, now would be nice. All right, so they sit him down like they're fucking toddlers. I don't even sit down my 12 and 13-year-old like this. Like, they're sitting just like you said, matching.
But I loved this. Was great TV.
So mom goes, and I noticed she does this all the time. She starts a sentence with so, and she ends it with right, which is so therapist speak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we talked about before Miona came, you could stay with us for a few months. We had talked about at the end of the year, and we just want to firm up plans, right? And Brian's like, you're going to get married sometime soon, somewhere else. Where is that? Okay, you don't know. And when is that? Okay, so that's what we were wanting to find out.
Okay, but you don't agree with the parents here? They
I
have
do.
4 weeks to do this, and they need to get out.
Listen,
He's had time to get a job in this.
I do, but I still think they're assholes. Not for this. I just think they're assholes.
Oh,
Like,
I
they're-
hate them. I like them in this episode because I agree with them.
Yeah.
You need to go. You're 30.
So Jibri's like, oh, he's just like rubbing his temples like, God, I was in the art and you guys just like disrupt the flow of the art and it's like, no one understands me. And his mom goes, so again, this goes back to the plans, right? We want to be at your wedding, so we need to know the plans. And Jibri's like, we just got the K1 visa. We don't have like 10 months to plan. And his dad, or Brian, goes, you had 3 months or something? He goes, yeah, we're in the 3 months right now.
Yeah. That means we have 1 month left.
And he's like,
Miona's saying
so
nothing.
you're saying like you're kicking us out, right? You're like kicking us out. And she's like, well, no, we're not. Okay, we're just talking about the plans, right? He's like, no, that's it. Like, we're gonna pack up and we're gonna move out, okay? He's like,
Yeah. She said, no, you have till the end of the year. He goes, no, we'll be out before that.
yeah. And Miona's just left sitting there like, And then we go to talking and she's like, yeah, this is actually exactly what I wanted. I wanted Jibri to have the fire lit under his ass to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I
she
haven't
loves
wanted
this
to live here in the
working out
first place. But he storms off like, he's like stomping his feet down each step. Her rumph. Miona's just sitting there like, okay, cool.
How many steps do you think Jibri took out of that room until he realized, oh shit, we have literally nowhere to go and no money?
Oh my God, I
maybe
can't
I
wait for
shouldn't have-
this. They're going to be calling
Yeah.
around to hotels and stuff. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And the Brian's like, Miona, I just wanted to say, we never said you had to leave. And Jibri's like, stop talking to her. Okay, we heard you. And he's like, I'm talking to her, not you.
Well, he said if you need anything, if you can always don't hesitate to ask us. And he goes, that's for Miona, by the way, not you.
And then Miona gets up and she's like, okay, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'll just go downstairs now. So awkward. Imagine that's you. And when you were engaged, right? And you have now I'm being like the mom, you were engaged, right? And Brad's sitting next to you. And you're going through this, and this is his parents. And you're seeing him be like, oh, we've only had 3 months. You don't like me.
I don't, I don't know. Understand what
Gross.
Jibri thinks he's doing here. Like, you're not doing what I think you're doing. You're accomplishing because they're not losing anything by him threatening to move out.
Fine, I'll leave. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that was the plan.
That was the point. All right, well.
Yeah, everyone's happy except Jibri. We have Bilal and Shida. He's a horrible, evil person. We say this every single week.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
And he's just a condescending fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And the way she kind of, it wasn't manipulative, but the way she presented this so that he kind of threw away his own point to this prenup. She's like, well, yeah, no, I would own all the profits from my yoga studio. And he's like, well, that would be like me saying all the money that I have, you wouldn't get. I'm like, yeah, that's
exactly
what she's saying.
why you wrote that.
Yeah. So what point? And so she's like, yeah.
Well,
It just ends with them kind of staring at each other.
Before they even get there, she goes into his office
God.
and she's like, hey, so I wanted to try out this cafe. Like, maybe we can talk. He goes, I'm kind of working, but okay.
Even though I'm mic'd up and production's here. I want to know, do you think it was just a black screen?
Oh, for
Or
sure.
like solid? He's just like, clickety, clickety,
It's not
clack.
even a real screen. I told you, this is a staged house. It's like a cardboard or it's plastic, but there's no components to it. Yeah, it's like an old Acer
God.
screen.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on there. Yeah, he actually has a calculator under his desk making the click-clack noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of working, okay, like you said, you're mic'd up. Just be like, yeah, okay. You don't have to be a dick about everything.
Yeah, and he goes, well, I guess make money later.
Oh
Talk
yeah,
now,
he goes.
money, make
He
money
goes.
later.
No money for me because I can't work, so I guess I'll go talk. That's a quote. No money for me. So they go, and she's like, yeah, this prenup is pretty much all about your needs, protects you 100%, but not me. And I came here for like love and partnership. And he's like, she thinks this is like Cinderella romance. Yeah, that's not real. Okay, you were just priding yourself on being super romantic and taking her on carriage rides and shit.
He took her on a horse and carriage ride.
Fuck off, dude. So yeah, she basically said, I understand you want your business. That's all yours. And he's like, I'm just protecting what's mine right now. And what I build from this is going to be all mine, even after the marriage. Anything with my business, because I'm working at it, is 100% mine. And so she says exactly what you said. Okay, so when I build my yoga brand, everything from that will be mine. He's like, well, even though you're starting that after we get married.
He's like, what you're looking for is capital or for a startup. Or it's like, you're her husband, though. You're not, this isn't Shark Tank. You're
Right.
helping her start a business because she gave up everything.
Well, and that's
career.
the point. So after you get married, any difference in the business that you make should then also be hers then. Because you're together after you're married. And then he ends up saying, I'll consider it. That's his answer. Yeah. I'll consider
He basically
it.
just talks himself out of his own point, and she just lets him. She's like, yeah, exactly.
I
exactly
hate that. Do we know if they got married? We know, right? That they did.
I feel like they do.
I hate this. Hate it. Okay, Kobe and Emily.
Another episode with another week without the boob.
No boobs. Yeah, I think producers got the point. They dropped it in heavy at the beginning, and they're okay, they got the no. They got it. So Emily and her dad and Kobe go check out Tux's. I don't know why your dad needs to be there. That was weird for me. God. Aren't you adults? Are you trying to prove that you're adults here? And she's like, wow, that looks so good, babe. That looks so good, babe, babe. That looks so good. I mean, yeah, he's pretty good looking. He's going to look good in everything.
Yeah. Men look good in suits.
Right. Kobe then says that his friend Temperature is going to come visit for the wedding. Temperature lives in like Ohio or Iowa or something.
The dad is trying to find like the least kind of offensive way to ask. Like, how did he, and then Kobe's answer is just, I don't know how he got the name. All I know is when I met him, his name was Temperature. Okay. Temperature.
I don't know. His name's Temperature. Well, listen, we had Mahogany.
Mahogany.
Mahogany. I mean, that's kind of out there, too. Right?
Go. I'm going to murder
I mean,
this
maybe
fucking
someone
cat. Get out.
Just thought it was like a cool looking name. Who knows? Well, Temperature is already in town. And Emily is super annoyed by this because they're in the middle of planning a wedding. I didn't know that he was coming in now. So she goes, fine, I guess I'll just go home and plan the whole wedding by myself.
As if she was going to let him help anyway.
Yeah, and also it's like, 3 hours that he's going to spend time with his friend. We've seen her take off to go with her mom and her sister how many times?
Yeah.
This is his first night to see his friend.
Yeah, to see any friends.
To plan the whole wedding by myself. Yeah, I'd love to see how productive Emily is in 3 hours. What is she knocking out in 3 hours, please?
Breastfeeding.
What we find out Temperature is not exactly aligned with our views, I'd say. He thinks that all American women are like this, that American women are the bosses in the relationship, and it's like, and I quote, signing a death warrant as soon as you give her the power to make any decisions. And that's when Kobe's like, well, I'm fucked then because she's pregnant again. And Temperature's like, well, it's about time that you tell her that you're the man.
I mean, I guess you kind of got to give Temperature credit for really just coming right out and saying it.
I mean, listen, I get it. It's a cultural thing. It is.
Yeah, which is why I can kind of give him
But I don't think he gauged our American culture correctly either, because I wouldn't say that women are the boss It's just more. Well, listen, they are in some relationships. Okay,
we literally just got.
We're trying
you
to
just got
get
your
equal.
rights taken away.
Yeah.
You don't have the rights to your goddamn bodies, and yet women are the boss in America.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to be. Listen, I actually don't think any relationship is truly 50-50. I
No,
think
it
it
can
ebbs
be.
and flows at times with certain
Yeah.
things and situations. So let's go to the family dinner here. The mom's like, we're so excited to meet Kobe's friend, Temperature.
Was it?
I think Kobe's excited to see someone who understands him. Just say, oh, there's going to be another black man at the table. We don't know what to do.
She definitely
Jesus.
checked her purse at the door.
Oh, it's like between her feet at that table. Yeah. It's like looped on one arm, but it's also on the back of the chair.
No, this is how I always sit when I'm eating.
It's actually under her clothes, like you carry a passport.
Yeah.
It's just under her shirt. So Temperature arrives. He's like, yeah, I like the U.S. He's like, maybe not Kansas, because, I mean, you guys are pretty racist here. But Ohio's great. There's a great community there. I really like it. And then the waitress comes in, and Emily does what I hate. I'll have the chicken piccata, and then Kobe's going to get the lasagna. You like lasagna, right, babe? Let him fucking order the food.
God.
It's not as if he doesn't speak the language and he's like, hey, let him know I want the chicken, but I want it like not breaded and this on the side. He can say lasagna.
Yeah. God.
This is where, and I don't like the phrase like emasculating, because I don't
It is emasculating though.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to like build a man up to like feel like a man. I mean, I don't feel like I do that with Dave, where I'm like, I need to make sure that he feels like a man here. I think it's just common courtesy. Like, you could speak for yourself. Like, I know you're a big boy or you're a big girl. You can speak for yourself.
She thinks that it's cute, though.
Yeah,
she thinks it's really charming.
And
then Temperature drops the fact that that Kobe is a prince, and the parents are like, "What? This guy?" You have no money though. And no kingdom, Emily says.
Right. And she's like, wait. Well, after she yells at Kobe, she's like, Kobe, drop that. Hurry up. Give it to him. Like, I'm going to, like, freak out on you if you don't give him his toy right now, okay? Oh, my God. Like, hurry up and give it to him. I'm going to freak out on you. And when she says, I'm going to freak out on you, her entire family laughs with her. Like, oh, Emily. I'm telling you right now, my family would look at me and be like, oh, my God, you are so bossy. My family would call me out in a heartbeat if I said something like that.
Yeah, well, you should.
And they have. They for sure have said, like, God, you're being, like, you're hard on him or whatever. Like, I'll even say, I'm trying to think of a specific example. One of them, I said something like, we were all at, it was like my dad's memorial. And I was like, well, why don't we just, like, all come over to my house afterwards and we'll have whatever. And they're like, oh, like, it's our house, not like your house, Jody. And I'm like, well, I didn't mean it like that. But I could see, like, if someone's listening, like, yeah, it's our house. Come over to our place, not my place, whatever. Okay. So she's an asshole. Temperature drops he's actually royalty. And she's like, how come you didn't tell me? I just can't believe that Kobe never told me that he was a prince and that he was, like, royalty. How did he never tell me that? Well, have you ever asked about him and his family?
You ever let him
and
speak?
His experiences, his past, his ancestry at all? Or are you just like, oh, he's black from Africa?
Oh, yeah, because it's a kink. And then Temperature goes into a whole thing about, like, he just says right to the family, like, yeah, it's really fucked up that women have so many rights over here. And then Emily has this talking head where she's like, it's really actually just making a lot of sense because I didn't think that Kobe had those kind of ideas, but then I remember when he told me to fuck off that one time. Like, that's the example you're using?
Uh-huh.
Because he should have said way worse to you.
Yeah, I mean, it also comes back to when he told me to fuck off in the barn, so maybe he does have this mentality.
I was just trying to help him as he's shoveling horse shit.
Her dad also had this real funny joke when Temperature said that. He goes, I think that's why you're not married. Shut up. Maybe he's not married because he may never want to get married. Like,
Yeah.
God, people are so fucking ignorant. I hate it. And that was rude. That's just rude
Yeah.
to say to someone.
It is rude.
Imagine if he said that to a woman. I mean, if we're talking about
God.
like equal whatever here, if he would have chuckled to a woman, well, that's why you're not married. I think
Yeah.
more people would be talking about it. Like, what a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, temperature's kind of a dick too, but anyway.
Moral of the story is we need to find like a medium temperature between Emily and Kobe, and temperature, of course.
And then next week it has temperature being like, well, you're pregnant. And Emily's like, I can't believe you told him, babe. You told him?
Like she
told him I
didn't
was
tell
pregnant?
her sister, please. Her
I
sister
know.
knows. Hey, before we wrap up, I just want to promote, I went on our friend Sharita's podcast, Say What She, and we
Ooh.
recapped Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we just had some really good discussions, and we played a fun little Would You Rather game and finished the lyrics game at the end. So check that out. It's Say What She, and she's one of us. She's one of the tribe. Speaking of,
Squad.
yeah, she's part of our squad, the squad. If you want to be part of the squad, check out our Facebook group. The link is in the show notes. We love to hate TV. Lots of good stuff coming up on Patreon. Check the show notes for that. Next week, we are going to be on a little bye week. We're on vacation next week for this
So
show.
we'll put something out. Well, I'll probably put something up from our Patreon.
Yeah.
Sister Wives episode or something.
So stay tuned. Please leave us a kind 5-star review. It really helps us out, and we hope you guys are enjoying the show. We know Seeking Sister Wife and 90 Day Fiance can be a little snooze sometimes, so after these wrap up, we'll be on to the next biggest and best thing and more pop
Yeah, we'll
culture
figure it out.
news. All right.
All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.